My sister threw a glass right at my face at a family dinner, all because our grandfather left his entire mansion to me instead of her. My grandfather left his entire multi-million-dollar mansion to me, a broke college student, completely cutting out his own wealthy kids. My mother and sister were absolutely furious. They cornered me at a family dinner, screaming that I manipulated a dying old man. When I refused to back down, my sister lost her mind and threw a glass right at my face. I walked out that very night with nothing but my jacket. For weeks, the house sat empty, but yesterday, I finally decided to pack up his old study in the basement. While moving a massive, heavy oak bookshelf, I noticed a strange gap in the floorboards. I pushed against the wall paneling, and it clicked open. Hidden in the dark was a heavy, rusted iron wall safe. It took me hours to crack it, but what I found inside changed absolutely everything. Inside the safe was a thick leather journal and a stack of legal documents dating back 20 years. As I read through his frantic handwriting, my jaw dropped. My grandfather didn't hate his kids, he was terrified of them. The documents proved that my mother and sister had been secretly draining his bank accounts for years, but the final page contained a warning that made my blood run cold. It said, "They will come for the house. Do not trust the walls." Just as I finished reading that exact sentence, I heard a loud, heavy thud coming from the floorboards, right directly above my head. Someone was upstairs. I froze, holding my breath in the pitch-black basement. Then, my phone buzzed in my hand. It was a text message from an unknown number. It read, "We know you found the safe. Open the front door right now, or we are coming down there to get it ourselves." My heart pounded as heavy footsteps began marching toward the basement door. I looked around frantically for a weapon or an escape, but I was trapped. Suddenly, the footsteps stopped right at the top of the stairs. A key turned in the lock. The door slowly creaked open, throwing a long shadow down the steps. I squeezed into the hidden wall gap behind the bookshelf, holding the journal tightly against my chest. Two people stepped into the basement, their flashlights cutting through the dark. It was my mother and sister, holding a crowbar. "He hid the real inheritance down here," my sister whispered. That's when I realized the massive house wasn't the real gift at all. I quietly pulled out my phone, started recording their conversation, and sent it directly to the police. They have no idea that their greed just walked them straight into a trap. That is exactly what I did when I slipped out of the hidden wall gap and slammed the heavy basement door shut, locking my mother and sister inside. They started screaming and pounding on the wood with the crowbar, but it was too late. The police arrived less than 10 minutes later. As they were led away in handcuffs, the chief handed me a final letter from the safe. The real inheritance wasn't the house, it was the evidence to finally finish them.